Well, hello. We're back for another round with the chicken coop edition. I was just bringing everything in. I keep the tractor running because the birds are a little bit scared of it. Not scared, cautious around it. Let's put it that way. So that keeps them from making a break for the door when it's sitting there running. And they're gonna try. I'm turning you over. They're going to try some radishes out of the garden. They're little late radishes that I had. And they're going to try and decide whether they like those or not. So that'll hopefully keep them a little busy while we're talking. So back to the chicken coop. We got the floor on. We got the base on. We've got all the walls framed up. And then we put the top on. And then I ran into a huge problem that I did not think about. And if you know something about framing or about building, you may have already realized it. So when I built the coop, I made it 4 feet wide because 4 feet, as you can see, fits right inside that door, just inside of it, so that it's perfect. But the other nice thing about 4 feet is that 4 feet is the size, of course, the width of any common plywood. Less measuring, less cutting, less of all of that. So 4 feet was a great width. Now, so I made the floor 4 feet wide. Then I was like, I'm going to make the roof 4 feet wide, because that way I can put one sheet of plywood up there, not have a seam in it, and then I don't necessarily have to worry about waterproofing it with shingles or really like go crazy all out for waterproofing. So I did that. I got it all set up, and I made my rafters here. If you can see, they overhang a little bit and they extend out, because if I decide to, I might, if I get a lot of rain through this little crevice that's up here, which I don't think I will, but I may. If I get a lot of rain through there, sorry, you're on the tripod and I'm trying to move the tripod around. In any event, I may put a fascia board on here, and I may put a gutter on there, honestly, and let the rain go down into the chickens' water and just have a little catchment that is going straight to them. Then I realized my problem. The one sheet of plywood, when I put it up there, it's only going to come up to about here from the wall. So from back of that blue wall where the coop is, it's only going to come out to about there. That leaves me just a hair over 3 inches that won't have any roof on it, because the one sheet wide is 4 feet, and 4 feet's going to go right to here. The problem with that is that then any water that comes through that crack, runs down this roof, and hits the side here will never go into any sort of gutter or anything like that. It'll run right down the side of this wall. And running down the side of that wall will be a problem, because it will definitely erode that over time. So I've come to a decision. I thought about it last night. I realized it last night and thought about it. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to put a spacer, again, up there near the original chicken coop, the blue wall. It'll be underneath an overhang, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue with weather. I will still have to somehow, either with caulk or what's that stuff that guy sprayed into the bottom, made an aluminum john boat with a hole in it, with a screen door. You ever seen that guy on TV? You know what I'm talking about. What's the name of that stuff? I can't think of it. But anyway, you spray it in the bottom and it makes waterproof. So what I'm going to do is I have a 4-inch wide spacer here. That 4-inch wide spacer is going to go right up against, laying flat up there. Then the plywood's going to butt up next to this, and that will move the plywood down to hang just a hair over this, and that'll leave some room for a fascia board. I had to end up with a seam. That seam, any kind of seam, always introduces a chance of water damage, weather damage over time. So we're going to have to try to mitigate that as much as possible while we're putting it together. But I'm about to get started, and as always, we're going to put me in fast forward so that you don't have to suffer painfully. Sorry for the long introduction, but I did want to tell you exactly what I was doing because it's something that I have not talked about in a previous video. So we're going to start putting this up against the wall. Then we're going to put the roof on. Then comes this wall. And then finally comes this back wall here. I don't know if it's going to all happen today or all happen in this video, but that's how it's going to happen. All right, let's get started. All right, let's talk about what we just did, cutting that section of the wall out and go from there. So I don't believe I had spoken to, on camera anyway, about the fact that I need a door in this addition. This addition is built off from the main coop, and there's really no way to humanly access it without putting a door in it, or crawling up inside of the coop full of bedding and whatnot. If you have chickens, you know what whatnot is. So I'm gonna turn you around here for a second. Okay, so we've got the wall done that gonna have the nest boxes. I just have to get the nest boxes in there. With this wall's framed up, this wall's done, and I do know that those are supposed to be vertical. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a brain cramp there. And then this last wall, we're actually going to make out of heavier plywood. See how thin this is? This last wall that's right here, and it's right where I walk into the coop, I want it heavier. It's going to be a heavier plywood because it's going to be something that I can actually screw into and possibly hang things from that I need to kind of tidy up and clean the mess up. I've got several waterers here you can see, and I usually have a bucket or two around here, and I want to be able to hang these things up, get them out of the way, and I'm afraid that using this real thin sheathing will not cut it. So for this wall, I've got a piece of plywood, hopefully you can see that's twice as thick at least, and that's going to be my wall. So let's get started. Okay, another wall done. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, wow. I can't wait to honestly be done with this project. It has lingered and I had other things going on and it just has taken longer than I expected. I appreciate though you all being along for this. We're not quite done yet. Still got to put a wall, still got to put the door in, still got to put a ceiling on, as well as eventually probably this wall that I just put on that you just watched me struggle with. We'll get some hooks and some trimmings in order to for me to be able to hang any kind of implements out here. It'd be nice to hang like a pitchfork or a rake to do the run at any time, as well as you always seem to need a bucket or two, so that sort of stuff that'll be nice to have on hand and not get out here and then be like, I forgot that back in the garage, or I forgot that back in the garden shed, and have to come back. So I'm going to stop here for the moment. I do appreciate that you've been here with me. I appreciate that you, if you like and subscribe. I certainly appreciate if you just view, sorry, but liking and subscribing, as with every YouTuber, if you've been on YouTube, you know the deal. Like and subscribe helps the channel, helps get our message out, helps give us exposure, and helps me as far as doing these videos and figuring out what it is that is really appealing to you. So if you do like and subscribe, share, I really appreciate it. I really do. I do this so people can hopefully learn, even if it is, and definitely that was the case today, learning from some of my mistakes. So take care, be safe, be prepared, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.